Alright, so it's officially been a year since I got my Nuss Bar removed, so I thought I would make a video of all of the questions that I got while I had it, after I had it, and I realized I never made a follow-up video. I figured I would make a video showing where I am now and all of the questions that I got when I got my Nuss Bar in or out, or anything that I really haven't answered in these videos. I asked a bunch of questions on my Instagram of what you guys wanted to know about the Nuss Bar, and I got a bunch, so that's good. Thank you guys. And if you want to answer questions in the future, you can go follow me at, that's my handle. So I got a few people saying, like, what is it? What is this? Didn't know you had this. So I'll go over it briefly, but if you want more detail, then the video will be linked up in one of these top corners of what it is, how my whole birth defect thing worked. The gist of the story is, you remember the guys that have divots in their chests? You know, they joke it's like a cereal bowl chest or whatever, you could eat cereal out of it. Anyway, I had that, and it was causing pressure on my heart and on my windpipe. It made it so I couldn't breathe very well, and it made it so that my heart rate was way higher than it should be, even at resting. So, for instance, at resting, my heart rate was often 130, 140, which is not how it should be when you're not doing anything. And that divot in your chest is a birth defect. It's hereditary. So anyway, I had that. A couple of my cousins have it, or variations of it. It's called Pectus Excavatum. Anyway, so in order to correct that, I had a metal bar put in my chest. I'll show the x-ray here. Anyway, it went in one side, over under my sternum, out the other side, and it connected with a plate on one side, and the other side was just kind of floating around doing its own thing. So one of my questions is, did they let you keep it? They did. I have it right here, which it'll probably be easier for you to see if I take it out of the bag. This is it. Maybe if you there we go. This is it. That was in my chest. It was in right about here. So that's fun. And this is the plate that was on the one side. I don't know what way it's easier for you guys to see. We'll do both, kind of. So that's the plate. Maybe I'll do that with the bar too. So this is the bar. It's pretty thick. It's got notches. See where the thing was put in. Anyway, so they did let me keep it, which is fun. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but alright. Did you set off metal detectors? I did not set off any metal detectors the entire time I had it, which was unfortunate. However, a TSA agent was patting me down once, and because of how my body is built, they said it's because I was so skinny, but I don't think that I'm particularly skinnier than anyone else. Maybe that's an asshole thing to say. Is that an asshole thing to say? I don't know. Anyway, so I had a TSA agent patting me down once, and she touched the sides like they do, and she was like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Please stop touching it. It's a bar. It's in my chest." I showed her my airport ID because I had it ready because I knew they were patting me down, you know, just in case. Better safe than sorry. I also had a medical alert necklace for a while that's there to let EMTs know that I have a metal in my chest just in case I got in some sort of accident, and that I had to keep on during in airports. So that was kind of an issue sometimes, but it didn't usually set off metal detectors. Why did you get it? Well, I got it because I couldn't breathe and my heart wasn't functioning properly. One of the questions was, did it hurt? And a couple other questions were, did it feel funky? So I'm kind of going to answer all of those in one. Getting the bar in did hurt quite a lot. I was on many narcotics, because think about it, it brings your whole chest just out. It's like getting braces. This is the way that it was explained to me. It's like getting braces, but instead of like just tightening a little bit every like 6 weeks or whatever it is, you tighten all of it all at once. So yeah, it was really painful. I had about 3 months not doing anything. You can kind of hear more about that in my other video because it was really frustrating and I did not like it. So I had to have the Nuss Bar in for 3 years. So during the span of those 3 years, I had a lot of chronic pain. The weather changing hurt. Laying in one spot for a really long time hurt. I added like 10 more pillows to my bed because sleeping on one side, sleeping on the side without the plate hurt, because I don't know why it felt like there were nerves in between like my skin and the metal, and so it was really uncomfortable a lot of the time. So basically I kind of had pain on and off for 3 years that I had to deal with. It was usually in the mornings when I woke up, or when I was like, if I slept on the wrong side, it hurt pretty bad. If the weather was changing, it hurt. So being in places of warmer weather, like summer, being in warmer weather was nicer because you didn't have the changing of temperature all the time and barometer. It kind of felt like it was kind of slightly above where a girl's bra band would be. So it kind of felt like you had a wire bra digging into you kind of permanently is the best way I can explain it. It just felt kind of tight there, and I could feel it all the time. Like I kind of became unaware of it. And now that it's not there, my body kind of cramps sometimes, like along here, along where it was. It's not a big deal, really. What was it like having it taken out? So let's go back to when I got it taken out. Having it taken out was so much better. I was so scared to have it taken out because when I had it put in, it was so painful. I was in the hospital for a week. So I was really nervous to have it taken out, but having it taken out was so much better. It's way less invasive of a procedure. Really, they just have to obviously cut through your muscles on the sides again, which that's a whole other thing. Cutting through the muscles on the sides made it so I couldn't go back to silks and aerials as quickly, and that really bummed me out and frustrated me, and I felt like I wasted a lot of time recovering, but you're never really wasting time if you're recovering, so don't be too hard on yourself. But do know that the sooner you can get back doing like physical therapy or doing your normal workouts safely, then the better you're going to feel ultimately. Anyway, having it taken out was so much easier. It was an outpatient procedure, so I only had to stay in the hospital for a few hours, and then I got to go home, and I was on significantly less narcotics. I was only on one, along with Tylenol, and I was only on that one for like half a week to a week. I don't entirely remember because it was a year ago at this point, but my point is, if you have a Nuss Bar and you're having it taken out, don't stress. Doctor's really not kidding. It's so much easier. You're going to feel so much better. A year later, I'm finally kind of used to having it out, but not entirely because, I had it in for 3 years. Anyway, so here's a girl thing. I thought I was going to be, because with the bar in, I couldn't wear any normal bras because they had wires or they had the boning, and those hurt my incision sites like crazy. And also hurt because there was a metal bar there. I thought I would be able to wear bras again after I got it out, and I have tried, it's been a year, I can't. The incision sites still kind of hurt a little, and maybe I'm just not used to it, but I just can't wear real bras anymore, which isn't a problem because I'm very small chested, but if you're having that same frustration, I'd be interested to hear about it. Oh yeah, if you've had any of these Nuss procedures with Pectus Excavatum or Pectus coronatum, let me know down below in the comments. I'm really interested to hear. And if you're about to get one of your surgeries, like if you're about to get your Nuss Bar put in, or if you're about to get your Nuss Bar taken out, I would love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to me in the comments or message me on Instagram. I'm always happy to help talk people through this. Let's see, how old was I? I was 19. Okay, so I would have had to have been 19 when I got it put in, because I was 22 when I got it taken out. So I'm a little bit older than you typically would be to get this kind of procedure, which was interesting because I had it at Primary Children's, at a children's hospital, because that's just where the doctors in the state do these procedures, because they're used to doing it on younger kids. So most of the people I talk to are younger who have this problem, which is good because the older you get, the more painful it gets. So if you're a kid and you're getting it and you're like a teenager, get it now. Trust me, it's so much better to get it earlier than later. One of the questions I got is, was it worth it? People are always asking me this question in real life when they hear about it, because they hear about how hard it was or they've seen my other videos and like, wow, that sounded really difficult. Like, was it worth all the pain, all of the recovery, all the double recovery from getting it out? And I always have to say yes. It's absolutely worth it. I didn't realize how much I couldn't breathe before until I got the bar out and was able to breathe normally again. I don't know if I was ever breathing normally, to be honest. At the end of the day, I'm just happy to be able to walk and talk at the same time without running out of breath. A lot of people say it's a cosmetic procedure for women, and I think that's so invalidating because it's not just a cosmetic procedure. One of the nurses in the hospital said to me, and I don't hold this against her. I don't think she was being horrible or insensitive. I think she just didn't understand. She asked me why I was getting it taken out. Like, what sports do I play? And I was like, what sports do I play? What do you mean? And she's like, well, usually girls only get this fixed if they play sports. And that kind of is like, hey, so only women who are doing sports need to breathe properly? Yeah, and I explained to her like how serious mine was. Mine was pretty serious, as it was causing heart problems and it was just continually getting worse. It's not just a cosmetic problem. So if somebody's telling you that you shouldn't look at getting it fixed because it's just a cosmetic problem, that's not the case. Sometimes it could be. Pectus excavatum, for instance, where your chest is out rather than in, can be more of a cosmetic problem, but find a specialist. Talk to a specialist, have some heart tests, have some breathing tests, and see if it actually is just a cosmetic problem or not. My sunken in looking chest didn't really bother me too much. I had flared ribs at the bottom, which bothered me because I got made fun of it. I got made fun of for it. So yeah, it was a really difficult procedure, and yeah, it was really difficult recovery time, but yes, it was absolutely worth it. I don't have heart problems. I can breathe. I mean, I probably got lots of stories from the 3 years of having it that I could probably tell if you guys are interested in this sort of thing. I know that most of the people who watch these videos are going to get the procedure. They've already gotten the procedure, and these are really helpful for them to know that other people have gone through what you've gone through and you're not alone. And I know that it can be really, really hard. It can be hard to get it put in and not be able to do anything. And then it can be hard to go back to doing things because maybe you're scared that the bar might slip or that you can't get that strength back. When I started doing aerials, as you know from my other video, is after I had the bar in, and I did it as kind of like therapy, getting back to where I was, because I was told like, oh, there's not really physical therapy we can do for this. So you kind of just have to learn to lift your arms again and learn how to sit up on your own again and all of these things. And yeah, that's rough to not have a clear way back, but just know that there is a way back to how you were before. You can do all of the things that you did before, and it just takes a little bit of time. It's a little bit painful, I'm not gonna lie, but dogs. So if you're gonna get your bar out soon, I'm so happy for you. So I really appreciate how excited you must be right now, and also that you're probably a little nervous. And then just know, don't be nervous. Getting it out is nowhere near as bad as getting it in. So, and there are things to look forward to. I don't have to sleep with 20 million pillows anymore. I'm way more comfortable. I don't have to worry about people feeling the bar sometimes. Like, I would hug people and they'd feel a bar, and that was weird. Not many people talk about this, so I don't know if everybody has the experience that I'm having. So if you're gonna get your bar in, 1, go watch my other video. And 2, like, I don't know if this is helpful or scaring you, because I said I had chronic pain for 3 years, but like, you may not. It's different for everybody. It's kind of a fairly new thing, and I think people need to talk about it more so that we all know like how it feels. Anyway, I think that's all of the questions. If I missed something, drop a question down in the comments. I'm always looking at comments. Go watch my playlist of Nuss procedure videos. I've got several of them and they might be helpful to you. My favorite is how I do silks with that, because I know some people who watch my videos haven't worked out for 3 years because they're afraid, and that's okay, and I get it, and I don't know what give this video a thumbs up. Anyway, and subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you in the next video.